and welcome live to Newcastle, Delaware, inside the home of the William Penn Colonials, as we are bringing you the Blue Hen Conference Finals here on Delaware Live Sports. Nick Allison journey alongside the legend, William Penn Colonial legend, Jack Holloway, and our cameraman and producer today, Nick Halliday, on double duty. So here we are, just moments away from getting these Blue Hen qualifying finals underway. And Jack, it's a privilege and an honor to be here Matt side with you for this one. I know we've been looking forward to it all week, and I'm sure this has got to bring back a little nostalgia for you as well, and I'm sure that you're running through a little bit of emotions, but how's it feel for you to be back here at William Penn, Matt side, for a big event like these Blue Hen Conference Finals?
Well, thank you for the introduction, Nick. It's exciting, obviously, and this place is special to me, and I've had a whole lot of interesting Saturday afternoons and Wednesday evenings here, and this for these wrestlers, though, this is the thing. This is the culmination of their season. You can see the excitement, particularly in their matches earlier, going for third and fourth, and when they knew they were going to make it to the state tournament. They've worked so hard now for the last 4 months, and this is everything. This is everything to get to the states and get to the state tournament. And now, of course, the 4 places are decided, so we know who the 4 going to the states are. But now, that championship, that's just always something special, whether it's a state championship or a conference championship. It just culminates your season. So we're going to, and plus in addition, we got a great team race going on here.
Yes, we do.
It is really close between the Colonials of William Penn and St. George's. So that's going to be added excitement, the team championship, as well as each of these 28 wrestlers going for those 14 championships tonight. It's just, their parents are here, everybody here, and it's just, you want it so bad, and they've worked so hard for it. So I think we're in for some good wrestling.
It's going to be a lot of fun here on a Saturday evening. Apologize to everyone that was tuned in at 5 o'clock. If you know a little bit of wrestling and conference tournaments, backed up just a little bit. A lot of action here today at William Penn. So we're going to get underway today at starting at 1:32, and we will go from there. But, Jack, you mentioned, of course, the team race. You alluded to that a little bit earlier. Let's dive into that and give everybody at home just a little bit of insight on what's been going on here this weekend at the Blue Hen. So it's William Penn. Of course, they've been dominating this tournament over the last 4 or so years. They've won it, I believe, the last 4 times, disregarding the COVID year when they didn't have it. So other than that, it's been all William Penn. They lead the team race coming into the finals tonight with 225 points. But you mentioned St. George's. They are right on their heels, 222.5 points. So just 2.5 points back of William Penn. And they've got some guys that are going to be going at it against each other, but also different guys that are going to be in the finals tonight. So it's going to come down right to the wire, as you mentioned.
Yeah, well, I think if I'm accurate here, I think the Colonials have 7 in the finals and St. George's have 6.
Yep.
So a little bit of an edge to the Colonials there, but nonetheless, this is going to come down. To who gets the most wins here in these finals. Very exciting.
Middletown at 3rd, Appo at 4th, AI at 5th in terms of the team race. But we're about getting ready for introductions here at William Penn High School, and it's going to start at 1:32. And it's going to be Appoquinimic's Jordan Mills. So Mills had a bye earlier this weekend, followed by 2 pins, and he makes his way here to the finals with an overall record of 34-8 with the junior from Appo. And then coming out on the other side, our first William Penn Colonial of the evening, Brooklyn Gordy, coming off a 1-0 decision in the semifinals to earn himself a spot here in the finals. So it's going to be Jordan Mills and Brooklyn Gordy. Gordy coming into this one 19-10, and he is a senior. So both of these guys at the scores table as we are set. The light is on, and a great crowd here at William Penn High School. As again, I believe working on the scoreboard here for the moment. But Jack, again, just want to say an honor to be here next to you, just sitting here for the pregame final, kind of with you and just sitting out. You're like the mayor here at William Penn, as expected. Again, a member of the 300 Win Club, a Hall of Famer, and again, everybody's coming up and saying hello and asking you how you're doing. It must be great to be back.
Well, mostly what they're coming up is asking me why I'm sitting next to a St. Mark's guy.
See, they told you the rumors are going around now. That's right.
That doesn't go over well in Newcastle, but I've tried to tell him you're a good guy.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Coach. And again, as we are set ready to go, that William Penn St. Mark's rivalry not as evident here later in history as it was back, and those were some fantastic matches. I remember too going back down as a kid between William Penn and St. Mark's, and hope to see both of those programs again back on the rise here in 23-24. Here we go, 132 Blue Hen final, and we are underway. So 2-2-2, obviously your periods here in the Blue Hen. Mills
Nice
in on a shot.
Good double leg shot.
Trying to finish it. As Gordy trying to fight off, and that's going to be 2 for Mills to start. So Mills wasting in no time. Coach, you saw it, got deep on that double leg and able to earn the 2.
It was a great shot, great shot.
So 30 seconds in to period number 1 as Mills trying to go to work on top here towards the edge of the circle, and they'll whistle and bring him back center. So you mentioned it, Coach, 7 William Penn Colonials punching their ticket here to the Blue Hen Finals. So another fantastic weekend for William Penn, and of course coming down with that team race on the line as well.
I like what Mills just did there. He made a quick takedown, took him down in the first 30 seconds of the match, and so he comes back out and he lets him go. That used to be something I always believed in. If you take somebody down that soon, why not do it again?
And there we go,
And
straight double once again. Whizzer hard there from Gordy. Mills still trying to finish, can bring that leg up, and he's in control for 2 more. And so much of wrestling also is that strategy, right? Going over with your coaches, you know, what you're going to do, certain game plans coming into matches, knowing who you're going against. And right there, you talked about the takedown capability of Mills, able to do it again.
And you know, it's just a mental aspect. It's very not that Brooklyn can't come back on bottom and come back and win this match, but mentally, when you go out against a guy and he takes you down 2 times in the first period, it just plays with your mind.
It's in your mind for sure. And Mills with 2 nice doubles to earn his first 2 takedowns of the match. And we'll have a stalemate here with 18 seconds to go in period 1. Mills in control here early, 4-1. So now a short time, Mills obviously deciding here to try to keep control on top and try to take this 4-1 lead if he can't get some backs here into the second. And that'll do it for period 1. Again, our clock should be right along the lines of official, maybe a few seconds off, but it is unofficial here as we have the flip. And Mills will defer. And Gordy going to start bottom here. So Mills, coach, 2 takedowns, 4-1 in control, and then Gordy going to head back down.
Yeah, Gordy really needs a score here. He has to get back in this match.
Straight up and able to get away quickly.
Well, once again, Mills just let him go. But here you go.
This time Gordy almost able to come up with the takedown.
Almost.
Mills
Nice
has
shot.
been in control and neutral here. Gives him that 2-point lead. But again, it's just a 2-point match here in the second. Trying for the outside leg. Now switching to double for Gordy as they head out of the circle. We'll reset with 132 remaining in the second.
There's that double again.
And once again, Mills able to get deep in and take him down for 2 more. And again, able to narrow that distance so quickly was Mills. Again, seemed like he was a little bit too far, but able to get to that double leg once again for that 3rd time today.
He continued his shot. You're right. I thought he shot from a little far out, but he continued it through and got it.
Seems to be his go-to move here.
I
He's
can
good
see
at
why.
it.
Why go to something else?
Yep, exactly right. 3 for 3 is Mills on 3 takedowns on that double. He now has a 6-2 lead, 52 seconds to go here in the second period. Gordy will start once again here on bottom. And then we'll see what Mills decides to do here now on top of the 6-2 lead, and he'll cut him once more.
See, when you play this game, it's you must win the takedown now. I mean, Gordy's right back in it if he gets the takedown.
And that's why earlier in the match, after Mills' first 2 takedowns, Gordy had gotten up twice. It was just a 4-2, 1 takedown away match there for him. And right now, just 6-3, still a lot of time left. Mills now has
very extended double there.
And
Oh,
how about
just
that
power.
one?
Oh.
How about the strength with one
Yeah.
arm lifting it up and Filmo's able to
Yes, he
finish, or at
did.
least not for the moment, as he's
Gordy's
locked in
going
on
for
that leg.
looking for a spladle, not there.
And we had an extensive spladle conversation before we went on the air today. As we are at the 10-second mark, short time here in the second, 6-3 lead for Mills, who's trying to get 2 more. He's on his way. He switches to that double once more. And he's got 2 more at the buzzer, so a big takedown to end the second period for Appo's Jordan Mills, and now firmly in control, 8-3 here as we head to the third.
Yeah, he'll take bottom now, and it just matches his. He just has to avoid the mistake.
So if you're a coach here, and obviously no one knows better than you, Coach, but what are you telling Brooklyn Gordy here if you're Colonial down 8-3, starting the third period on top?
Well, he just has to get something positive. So right now he needs to do it. He ain't breaking down. He just had a nice breakdown, but now go to work, and you just nip and tuck. You just go after a little bit at a time. Don't think about the whole thing. Just score. He has to score.
And again, Mills making the decision to go on bottom here to start the third period. Did dominate the battle on the feet through the first 2. As Gordy trying to work something, and as Coach said, got to score somehow here with an 8-3 lead, or trailing 8-3, I should say, is Gordy. And you see trying to work that heavy cross face.
Hey, going for the cradle. Yep, not there.
And again, Mills in control, but does have to keep moving before he gets hit with that first stall warning.
Yeah.
As we approach the 1-minute mark here in the third.
Mills is not going to try to give him much to work with. He's just maintaining his base. There's an escape.
And then able to get away, just staying with it, and now has the escape and a 6-point lead as Jordan Mills firmly in control. There's that deep double. Able to at least this time get on that right leg. And again, Mills content with this little lockup here with a 9-3 lead. And 30 seconds, we have another stalemate here. So 30 seconds to go here in this one between Jordan Mills and Brooklyn Gordy. And both of them had the same idea that time, and it's Mills who comes out on top.
Double once again.
The 4th, I believe, takedown of the double leg so far for Jordan Mills.
Your most basic of all takedowns, but if you got a good one, that's all you need.
That's right. That's what they
You
say.
can do it against everybody.
Short time here, and Jordan Mills will bring home our first title tonight. He takes home the 132-pound Blue Hen Championship here in 2024.
And then as far as the team championship goes, it's now 6-6. 6 William Penn wrestlers left and 6 St. George's.
And you hear the music.
2.5 points separating them. It'll be important.
That's true. We're going to be keeping an eye on that all night long. A heck of a match there to get us started at 132. And the Appoquinimink Jaguars have their first champion and our first crown champion of the Blue Hen here this season. Well, now we're going to move to 138 pounds. Introductions here behind us.
Just a musical note. Musical note. The music they're playing there is from the movie Vision Quest.
Oh, there we go.
This is the
Matthew
40th anniversary.
That's right. I saw on Twitter Matthew Modine was giving out a signed copy. There we go. That's right. Vision Quest. Got to get that into the broadcast. Absolutely. And here we go. We talked about the battle between St. George's and William Penn, and we're going to see that up close and personal here, Coach, at 138 pounds, as we're going to get from St. George's 34-7, the junior Gavin Sheehan. And then from William Penn, it's going to be Eric Holmes, the 25-13 senior who had a few upsets on his way to the Blue Hen final here today. So
St.
he's
George's?
St. George's versus William Penn. And William Penn, Holmes had a couple upsets to get here, Coach, and he'll take on, I believe, the top seed here in the conference for 138, Gavin Sheehan from St. George's. And here we go, the team battle. This is a big one. So here we go at 138 pounds, and the team race, as Coach mentioned a little while ago, just 2.5 points separating these two teams in front of us right now. as Holmes representing William Penn in the black and red, and Gavin Sheehan representing St. George's in the green and black. Holmes with a 13-8 decision over Odessa's Kevin Garay with his upset there in the semis, if you want to call it an upset. As Sheehan in on that sweep single.
Holmes in with a whizzer and a quarter. Nelson trying to counter this single.
Almost able to get it, but Sheehan able to stay up on it, keep it locked. Holmes trying to escape. Sheehan locked on that leg, and he's going to turn it into 2. .40 seconds remaining here in the opening period. 138-2 Blue Hen final between St. George's Gavin Sheehan and William Penn's Eric Holmes.
I think Holmes thought he was out of that single, but he turned back, and Sheehan did a really nice job of continuing to work on it and finish it.
Now looking for something to go to here on top. Looking to lock it up.
Locked up that cradle. He's got it locked.
Short time, 10 seconds for Sheehan if he wants to try to put some points on the board. Holmes doing a good job of staying pinned down, not trying to give up any backs. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and it looks like Sheehan going to take home 2 here. As they head to the end of the period, we'll see how they scored, and it will be 2 backs for Sheehan. And Coach, right at the buzzer, big points for St. George.
Boy, that was huge. He turned it with 5 seconds ago, but actually 4 seconds ago. Why he only got 2? He would have got 3. That was huge.
And he did it right as he needed to. Got the turn, as Coach mentioned, with 5 seconds, and just enough once those blades hit the mat to get a 2 count. And now Sheehan on bottom here to start the second period. We'll have a 4-0 lead. Now Holmes trying to do that cross face and try to lock up something the other side. We're 20 seconds into the second. And he comes over the top, locks it up, trying to roll, but lost it. Lost the lock of the hands, but somehow looks like he might be able to stay in control here on top. Sheehan trying to get out. Neck whip, couldn't get it. So reversal for Sheehan has him now with a 6-0 lead, 1:19 and ticking in the second period.
Holmes on top, committed, I think, what a lot of young wrestlers do sometimes. They try to score from a bad position. He really had not broken Sheehan down and really did not have the control necessary to go ahead and try to lock up that cradle. And Sheehan, very solid on his base, took advantage of it and got the reversal.
Grammy try that time for Holmes. Sheehan locks over the top, and he might have him stuck down here. Looking for more backs. He'll get a few. Maybe looking for a 3 count now. 40 seconds to go. Turk it up as he steps into the leg. And now Holmes in a dangerous position here for William Penn. Sheehan elevating. Still 30 seconds, plenty of time, and that'll do it as Sheehan gets the stick and has a pin here at 138 as he'll take home the Blue Hen Championship. And some big bonus points for the St. George's Hawks in that team race as well.
That puts them in the lead, I believe.
And Holmes came out with a lot of good energy there for William Penn at 138, and you talked about it just maybe a little bit too aggressive in some of those positions.
Again, the last move there, he is the one that put himself on his back. He tried to do a roll, and it really wasn't there, and he actually put himself on his back. Sheehan caught him there, kept him there, and got the pin. But once again, I think for all young wrestlers out there is make sure you're in a good, basic, solid position before you try to score. Don't try to score from bad position.
And as Coach mentioned, that pin puts St. George's ahead of William Penn, 228.5 to 225. But a chance here for both of these teams once again to improve their team score. So we have another rematch. It's going to be a St. George's William Penn final here at 144. For William Penn, it's the 1 seed. Nick Hendricks, 27-9, is the senior for the Colonials. And he will meet the junior Nick DiTommaso, just 12-7 on the season, has wrestled just 19 matches. Of course, you know the name DiTommaso for St. George's. And now a big match here, Coach, at 144. Once again, that will affect not only these individuals heading into the state tournament, but also this Blue Hen team score.
Big match right here.
So here we go, underway.
William Penn needs to try to regain a little momentum.
144-pound final. Hendricks from William Penn in the all-black singlets in the red trim. DiTommaso there in the green singlet representing St. George in the green and silver. So both of these coaching staffs have, again, just staying put here out on the mat from that 138-pound final. And we're 30 seconds into a scoreless start to the 144. Some hand fighting here early. Both these guys trying to feel each other out. Hendricks looks at least early to be the one kind of dictating.
He's trying to work that underhook, trying to get in a little deeper. Oh,
air throw by.
Great pass by.
And he'll pick up two. A nice move for Hendricks. So 2-0. Hendricks coming off a 15-5 major decision of Enninger there in that semifinal. And DiTommaso cut loose there, 2-1. And Hendricks saying he got poked in the eye. And they'll have to reset.
William Penn coach has instructed Hendricks to let him go, thinking they can get another takedown here in the last 30 seconds.
You know, we saw that work out well for Jordan Mills in the opener at 132 for Apo. Controlled the match on their feet. On his way to a championship at 132. DiTommaso able to get there. Can he finish? Switching to the double, trying to take him down, and he does. DiTommaso with a big takedown as the buzzer sounds in the first period. And a big one's going to give him a 3-2 lead there. And what a final 30 seconds it was for DiTommaso.
That's the downfall of take him down, let him go. You cannot lose the takedown. You cannot lose the takedown. That was a great comeback from St. George's.
Hendricks will go down to start the second. So a 3-2 lead for DiTommaso here as we are underway. Hendricks on all fours, trying to get to his feet.
Tripod stand up, wrist control, gets in, he's in deep. He got his one.
There it is, a quick one for Hendricks. We're all tied up at 3. As Coach mentioned, Hendricks trying to control these ties with that strength here. He's got that underhook, could have snapped down. And battling for control.
Hendricks from inside control now. He's got the underhook.
They'll lock up. And now approaching the 1 minute mark here in period number 2. We're all tied at 3, 144-pound Blue Hen final. And they'll reset these guys here center circle.
I like that stalemate call by the official there. Nothing much was happening. Get them wrestling again, start them fresh.
So we'll restart. 54 seconds to go here in the second period. Hendricks began the period on bottom. Escaped to tie this thing at 3. There's that throw by again, this time unable to finish it off. And now DiTommaso returns the favor. Both guys, though, able to fend it off. And there it is again.
Beautiful duck under, step over.
What a move by DiTommaso, as it looked as if both guys had a chance for that takedown, and he snags it away. And he'll finish it off with a stick. What a pin and what a match at 144.
What a change. What a change.
Wow, and DiTommaso.
Beautiful duck under, and then Hendricks with the step over, Looked like he was going to put DiTomaso to the back and then a roll through, and boom, there's your pin. Big. That could be one of the biggest moves of the night right there.
That was a fun one for us to watch.
That was, oh, my goodness gracious.
Here, Matt's side, and again, both guys, it looks like we're looking for duck unders. Both guys fought one off. DiTomaso finally able to land one, and then as you said, Hendricks with the step over looked like he was going to convert it into a takedown at that
looked
point.
Like a beautiful counter right to his back, but then a roll through. Oh, goodness gracious.
Some great chain wrestling there to end that match at 144, and not to mention
a big lead.
A big win for the St. George's Hawks, and not only that, and I'm sure coming into that one, you're probably not anticipating either of those guys get stuck in the finals there in a big pin.
You're looking, oh.
So that'll take us, a big match there, and that'll take us to 150 pounds, and we'll finally see some new coaches in the corner for this one in your Blue Hen final at 150. It'll be Del Castle's Tamir Archie, the senior, 27 and 18, had a bye in the first round, teched his way to the semis, and then a 5-2 decision over Ross from William Penn puts him in the finals, where he will meet our second Appoquinimink Jaguar of the evening. It's going to be the number 2 seed Charles Hackett. The junior is 31 and 11 on the season, and he has pinned his way to the finals. And we'll take a look now at that team score. Coach St. George's now extending that lead 234.5 to 225. So here comes Tamir Archie. He'll be wearing the green anklet from Del Castle. So here is Charles Hackett, your defending 2023 Blue Hen Conference champ, and he is back to try and go back-to-back here, this time at William Penn High School. So it's Archie from Del Castle and Hackett from Appoquinimink here for the 150-pound Blue Hen final. So here we go, and the teammate of Miller, the Appoquinimink Jaguar, who took home the title for the Blue Hen at 132. And now somebody I'm sure he goes at it with at practice. Here's Charles Hackett. Trying to be win number 2 for the Jaguars. Del Castle looking for their first Blue Hen champ here in 24. Deep shot from Archie. He's in deep on it. Got the double. Lifting. Can he finish? Trying to use that head. Will lift him back up into the circle, and now we'll have a stoppage. And Coach, want to get your opinion there on that one. They're going to stop it. Looked like Archie might have been on his way to 2. The coaching staff not necessarily happy for Del Castle. What do you think of that one?
Difficult call. I mean, what happened was Archie lost a little bit of control, and the Appo wrestler began to slip down his back, and that's why he called potentially dangerous. But that's very difficult for Del Castle.
We'll reset it now, center circle.
Potential 5-point move.
That's right. 1 minute into period number 1. Now battling for wrist control. See if Archie could find an opening again. Was able to get to that double leg. Close that distance quickly. 40 seconds. Inside control for Hackett. He's going to take a shot. Archie able to get those legs back. Sprawl. Here comes the reshot.
Giving a double.
And he's in again, as Coach mentioned. Can he finish it? Looking for it. Archie driving. Couldn't get that head out as the head is pinned down. And now Hackett trying to fend him off. 10 seconds, short time. Who's going to get some points?
He'd be a little better switching off to a single if he would right now. But he's hanging with that double, but he's really stretched out.
You're right, Coach. Again, had that head battled down. Again, was reaching out, extended with those 2 arms. So Archie able to get in on 2 double legs, just unable to finish them. And we've got a 0-0 match heading into the second. Archie going to begin things here on bottom to start period number 2. The senior, 27 and 18 on the year. And again, Del Castle has really made some strides in the last few years of that program, doing a great job over there. And of course, Hackett winning the Blue Hen as a sophomore last year. And now has it, or looking to lock something up over the top now. Able to get good pressure. Tight waist here.
Hackett's done a good job demanding his base, though.
Now to that ankle, now reaching across.
Good job right there.
Now he's got that leg on the Turk underneath.
Hackett did a nice job. He has him broken down now. Now he's going to work, which is what we were speaking about earlier, making sure you break the man down before you try to pin him.
He's trying to get him. Now has that arm bar in on with that right arm. Archie able to get back up to his base here for the moment. Under a minute now to go here in the second. Hackett trying to break him down with that ankle. Archie, though, strong underneath.
That far wrist is sitting there.
And now the bar gone.
The bar gone, yeah.
Reversing sides is Hackett now again trying to take him cross body. And both these guys giving a great effort here in the second period. Hackett, again, able to keep Archie down, and Archie been fighting hard to get off his feet here in the second period. And now right back into that bar, this time with the left arm for Hackett. Under 20 seconds to go.
He's got the reinforced bar now. See if we go for the tilt.
See, could we see it? Our first tilt of the evening, trying to keep Archie in that circle. Short time, 7 seconds. Hackett looking for back points. Archie rolls through. And now with 3, going to be tough to add on here at the end of the second. And a fantastic ride job that time, coached by Hackett, to keep Archie down for 2 minutes. A heck of a job on top. And now a 0-0 as we head to the third period. Just unable to get the turn, but you got to be happy with that ride in the second period.
Yeah, he showed his championship caliber right there with that. It's not an easy thing, a man as strong as Archie, to keep him down for the 2 minutes.
That's one of the hardest things to do in wrestling. And here we go in the third. Going to start in neutral. In the 0-0 match. What do you think of that one?
Sure. I'm not trying to follow that strategy. I mean, I would think Hackett just gave away a point. If he had taken bottom, I'm not sure what's going on here.
And again, we haven't seen Archie in the past. Maybe he's a savant on top.
Exactly. They've scouted, and maybe that's the last place you want to be is underneath Archie. I don't know. That just takes me by surprise, particularly for a defending champion, obviously a high-caliber wrestler. He's supremely confident on his takedown ability.
And he's looking like he could get to one here. Archie trying to fight, keeping that left arm up, trying to hold Hackett from getting that 2, but Hackett is right there. If Hackett can stick with it, he's on his way to 2 points. He's going to have to step over that leg if he can. And there it is. So the big takedown in the third period for the defending champ, Charles Hackett from Apo. Archie trying to fight off to give himself a chance, and he does. We've got a 2-1 match, 45 seconds to go. Crowd getting into it now. Archie, no hesitation. Can he finish? He's been stalled out twice on that double leg so far in the match. We've got short time now, 30 seconds to go. We'll see if we get a stalemate call here shortly, though. Just 23 seconds. Hackett looking like he might be able to fight it off and put this thing away if he can get behind Archie. And there's the stalemate call, Coach. So here we go. Clock stopped, 13 seconds, a 2-1 match.
The difference when you compare Smith's double leg takedown earlier with Archie's is just the continuing on through. He stopped.
And then here he goes again.
He got it. Just can't finish it. Oh, my goodness.
Whoa, we've got a good one.
He's got the shot, but he's got to continue on through.
5 seconds wasted, 8 seconds to go, a 1-point match. Hackett with a 1-point lead. 6 seconds for Archie to finish. 5 seconds, 2 seconds, and Hackett gonna hold on back-to-back Blue Hen Conference champion. Charles Hackett, the junior, has number 2 for the Jaguars.
Just couldn't quite finish those shots. I mean, he was taking a beautiful shot, getting in deep, but then he would stop. Just to stop his momentum.
I can hear my old coaches the same thing. You got to finish. You got to continue through, right? You can't. That's not a shot unless you finish through,
drive
right?
up, pound step, drive up, pound step, drive up.
And again, Archie was in deep 3 times in that match. Just Hackett doing a good job of fighting off all 3 takedown attempts, and that leads him to a 2-1 hard-fought victory. We have our podium right now for 132, or excuse me, 138. As now we are going to head to 157 pounds.
They're discussing with the referees that when Archie had him up in the air and they stopped it.
And right, you go back, and that was the first move we saw early in that first period. And again, you look at it now, and you want to say, hey, that could have been the difference.
The referees are trying to explain to the coaches that are trying to explain that loss of control there. Just that split-second loss of control. But when you're up in the air like that, it is potentially dangerous. It's tough call, tough call.
And the takedown was the difference. Hackett had to take down, and he wins 2-1 to take home the title at 150 pounds. That'll take us to 157 pounds, where we'll see the number 1 seed here in the Blue Hen at 157. Jason Wallace, 31-10, the senior is, as he has made his way to the finals, a first-round bye, and then 2 straight pins for Wallace as he's looking for a Blue Hen championship. He will meet the senior Thomas Dolo, I believe, from Christiana High School. The senior is 14-2 on the year. A decision 4-2 in the quarters, a pin in the semis. And here he is in the final at 157. It's going to be Wallace and Dolo here in the Blue Hen. So here we go. Wallace in the white singlet with the blue trim. For Middletown, he's wearing green. And Dolo in the all black with the blue and the red trim. For Christiana, he'll be wearing the red anklet at 157. And Wallace looking for 2 early, and he'll have it.
Wallace with an attempted pass by and a good counter by Dolo.
Excuse me, Dolo with the 2, and now 2-1 is Wallace able to quickly escape. So some action here early in the first period at 157. Middletown sitting at that 3rd spot in the team score.
Double leg shot by Wallace. Again, another counter by Dolo.
And you can see the strength from Dolo there for Christiana. Helping out with that 2 there. He now is in control 4-1, and there it is again, trying to lock up that cradle.
Very powerful looking young man. That was two good takedown attempts by both countered strongly. It's now 4-2.
And again, Wallace, quite the wrestler for Middletown. 31-10 this season is the senior. And again, pinning his way here to the final. So whoever takes home this one at 157 will be the first champion for either Middletown or Christiana today. And Wallace just kind of lost his footing, and Dolo puts him on the mat. Dolo looking for 6. And a conference title. Wallace fighting off his back, and that's a heck of a job by Wallace.
Great job by Wallace. Oh, my goodness.
Reaching back a little bit there, though. And that's going to lead, of course, though, to 3 backs for Dolo and the near fall.
It's quite obvious Dolo is one powerful young man. Everything that Wallace is attempting, Dolo is just turning it into negative points.
Dolo, a career record of 41-13. As we have a stoppage here. And how about 9 first period points for the 157-pounder from Christiana?
I don't think Wallace has encountered this type of strength before. He's getting good shots, but Dolo is making him have a difficult time finishing whatever he tries.
Dolo, the champion of the Christiana Classic
And
at
he
165.
he just chose neutral.
Dolo again.
He's feeling pretty confident in that neutral position.
Dolo took third last year in the Blue Hen qualifier at 157. So back here at 157 this year. Wrestled 2 tournaments earlier this year at 165. But of course now back down to 157 for his run in the state tournament. 9-2 back underway here in the second period between Wallace and Dolo. Wallace 44-12 on the season, looking for the headlock,
Wallace
then tries to reverse.
Once again.
And Coach, it looks like, at least to me, Wallace has probably had some success with some of these moves against other wrestlers, but the strength of Dolo is kind of throwing a wrench into his game plan.
You can just see it. He hits it, he thinks he has it, but then all of a sudden there's a power surge.
And the strength of Dolo on full display here in the 157-pound Blue Hen final. 11-3, he is in firm control of this one. Still a lot of time, though. 1 minute remaining here in the second period. Wallace, the champion of the Back to School Open in November, the Tiger Takedown as well in October.
He's going for another headlock, and he's not having the success with it.
And coming right at us, Coach. Get ready. As Wallace now trying the inside trip. And Dolo's got him once again on the mat for 2 more. We'll see if he can keep him in. He still has him in as of right now. Again, trying to get him to step over, maybe Turk that leg you're hearing from the coaching staff or from the stands here. And now he'll get some more backs as Wallace rolls right into it. Now we'll have a stoppage here. But Dolo going to put some more points on the board. He's up 15-3. He's been dominating this match.
Well, you know, Wallace knows he's behind by a lot of points, so he's trying big moves. Everything's a big move, and it's just this young man's too strong.
And that's the thing. It kind of looks like as Wallace is kind of challenging him in that aspect of the match. He's trying to outstrength him, and that's not going to be the way to go about taking Dolo down.
No, you
have to use the technique.
This would have to be a much more systematic approach with get your takedown, get your escape, that type of thing. But I mean, Wallace is just trying to go for the win. He's so far behind. And here he goes again, trying another throw, and you can just see he goes to hit it, and that hits that strength, and it's just, once again, there it is. 2 more for Dolo off of Wallace's move. I mean, I don't think Dolo's hit an aggressive move yet.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, can you give me a technical, takedown that he's had?
Every point he's got has been off the counter to Wallace's attempts.
He's wrestling a heck of a match here in the final.
He is obviously one powerful young man.
Got to keep an eye on at 157. And now Dolo looking for bonus points for Christiana, and he's in tight. Wallace, though, has done a good job of fighting off his back in this match. But Dolo has got some bonus.
Wallace once again went for a roll, trying to get a big roll, try to get Dolo on his back, and he rolled under Dolo, and Dolo just was having none of it. That's just
a dominating performance. That time from Thomas Dolo, your 2024 157-pound Blue Hen champion. And you look at that weight class at 157 in terms of our Delaware Live Sports rankings. Dolo sitting outside the top 6, so I'm sure he's ready to make everyone aware of what he's capable of come that state tournament next weekend, and he's got some eyes on him after that performance. So that'll take us to 165 pounds, where now we'll have a chance to see the number 2 ranked wrestler at the 165-pound weight class. That's Frank Norris, the junior from William Penn. And Coach, he is on his way in an undefeated season. He's 27-0, the junior from William Penn. He's going to look to try to get some of those bonus points, or at least points back for that team race, as well as a Blue Hen championship here today.
He's a tough young man, and I've seen him wrestle several times this year. We're going to see another good double leg man.
That's right.
That's his premier takedown.
Strong guy as well.
He comes right at you, puts his face in your chest, and goes for both knees. And he's good at it.
So Norris, of course, going to be the hometown crowd favorite here, looking to keep that undefeated streak alive. And he's going to go up against Zachary Etienne. So Etienne, I believe, from Concord. Second at the 27th annual Battle of the Bridge in January. Second at the Polytech Invitational earlier this year. He finished second at last year's Blue Hen qualifier at 165 pounds, and he's back to try to get a championship. He's going to have to go through the undefeated Frank Norris. So Zach ranked 4th in the state at 165. Norris ranked 2nd in the state. So we're going to get a matchup of guys ranked here all across the board in this final.
Frank's got that low center of gravity. He's short, squat, and he comes at you hard.
And a tough loss for him in the state tournament last year. And he has responded in a heck of a way. Of course, back for just his junior season, 27-0. And looking for a championship here in the Blue Hen. Norris in the black and red. And Zachary Etienne in the maroon and white for Concord. And talk about the low center of gravity. Norris also got that strength as well.
Etienne's done a good job tying him up. I'm surprised Frank's staying these tied up. Usually he likes to stay loose and neutral.
Faked the shot that time. Almost a minute in here to period 1. 0-0 as they'll reset. And a special shout out to Joe Archangelo and the crew here at William Penn for getting us all set up, ready to go. Thrilled to be here for the Blue Hen Finals. And they've been very helpful getting us up and running. We've got a perfect spot here, Matt side, Nick Allison alongside the Hall of Famer, Jack Holloway. Nick Halliday to our right. We started tonight.
Beautiful new facility. They've redone the wrestling room totally. They have all new mats. It's just a tremendous facility right now.
Speaking of the wrestling room, the Jack Holloway wrestling room here at William Penn, looking phenomenal over there, and a heck of a job they're doing with that wrestling room. And then the intros here as well with the smoke, the introductions, the music. You got to love it. Here for the Blue Hen final, still 0-0, short time here, period 1, 24 seconds and ticking. Always love coming over here.
Shot. Nice counter.
Both of these guys feeling each other out. Who's going to make the first mistake? Again, both these guys ranked in the top 4 in the state. Short time, 3 seconds. And we're going to head to the second period, 0-0.
That was a good job by Etienne, I think, maintaining most of the ties and keeping Frank tied up. Etienne is looking for that inside trip. Frank, like I told you, usually likes to stay a little more neutral and get that outside shot, which is the good double. Didn't happen in the first period.
Brad, this will be our third matchup with guys meeting each other that are ranked in the top 6. At 144, we had D. Tomaso ranked 5th with the upset of Hendricks, who was ranked 3rd. And again, both of these guys in the top 4 at their respective weights. Underway here in the second period. Norris going to start things on bottom. Etienne on top. Able to get to his feet. Ooh. And Etienne with a nice mat return. Been impressed with the way Etienne's able to stay in control here early in the match.
He's long. He's long on his body. He's using that length to his advantage right now.
Now got a boot in. Trying to get those hips back up. Norris knows he's riding him just a tad high. And they'll have to reset here with 1:18 to go in the second period. So still looking for our first points here of the 165 Blue Hen final between the number 1 seed in the conference and the number 2 overall ranked wrestler at 65, Frank Norris, and then the 2 seed Etienne and the number 4 ranked wrestler.
Granby roll by Norris.
Almost a Granby into a Peterson. And Edian still able to somehow not get put on his back. Either way, nothing yet. And there they're going to give Norris one.
Almost a big move, almost a 5-pointer. But Edian did a nice job of getting out of that Granby roll. Beautiful Granby roll by Norris, but he gets one out of it.
Edian now on the shot, has that right leg. Norris on the front, battling for wrist control. Now to the front head. So Edian have been a little bit more active on their feet in terms of attacking at least. Norris working off of those moves.
I think Edian used motion. I mean, but Norris used more motion. There's his double from outside.
And he's in on it.
He's in on it. That's exactly what I was just trying to say. He needed to separate. Couldn't let Edian hang on him like he's been doing.
Yeah, he's been doing that.
Once he separated, he got his shot, and that's a good double. He's got a strong double.
And you said it earlier in the match. I was a little surprised myself to see them lock up repeatedly. And again, took till 10 seconds here left in the second for Norris to create that space and then get that takedown. 3-0 lead.
I think Norris finally realized himself, like, I'm not going to let him hang on me anymore. I'm going to.
And a 3-point second period has Norris in control as we head to the third. He leads 3-0 over Zach Edian.
That was a beautiful double leg shot by Frank. He came in strong, and as we saw, he continued on to finish.
So Edian will go down. Norris will take top. Third period, 2 minutes to go here in our 165 Blue Hen final, and we're underway. Edian right to his feet, able to get the escape, and now we've got a 2-point match, 3-1. So it could come down here to neutral, where Norris has the only takedown of the match.
Now they're back hanging, and that's not where Norris wants to be. It is where Edian wants to be. There's nice. Ooh, almost a nice headlock counter there.
Coming right at us, Coach.
We got
head on a swivel here. As we're back underway, 1:30 to go. 3-1 lead for Norris over Edian, 165 Blue Hen final.
It's a real battle of styles here. Real battle of styles. One wants to stay open, the other wants to lock up. Oh, beautiful.
And there's a nice double.
Beautiful.
Oh, a spear double by Norris. Again, right as Edian went for the tie, he shot under it.
When he reached, it was a beautiful shot.
Edian has that leg. Norris trying to work it inside. Now Norris in firm control. 7-1 lead as we take under a minute to go here in the third period. Edian going to have to start trying some things. And Norris content, of course, there with the stoppage. 7-1 lead for him, 45 seconds remaining.
That was beautifully done. Norris, when Edian reached in, Norris feinted dropping back and then shot right in, and it was just about as pretty a double-leg takedown as you're ever going to see.
And he's feeling it. He went over to Coach Joe Archangel. He said, I want him in neutral. Once you get that first takedown or two takedowns now that he has in the match, starting to feel it. And he's going to let him right back up. And right to it. And he's going to cut him loose once more. And again, into a rhythm now is the undefeated 27-0 Frank Norris.
I think he's figured out his style. He's staying loose. He's staying loose.
9-1 lead for the junior from William Penn. Now, Edian tries the double, and he runs right into a toss from Norris. Norris looking to help his team in those team points, and Edian able to fight off. But does, as of right now, have a major with a 14-3 lead. Short time as we tick away, and Frank Norris improving to 28-0 in his third conference championship with a win over the fourth-ranked Zach Edian. And what a performance from Frank Norris, Coach. We were waiting to see that double leg, and he broke it out for us there in that second period.
It was beautiful to watch the way Frank figured it out. And the first period, it was pretty much dominated by Eddie and using his technique, tight ties, staying tight, looking for his inside trip. And then I think Frank figured it out about halfway through the second period, and you never saw him want to tie up again. And then that double just took off.
And again, once he hit that second one, he went over to Coach Arcangelo and he said, I'm in a rhythm. Let's just keep letting them up. That's right.
The confidence was rolling in.
And he was able to earn a few more on his way to a major decision in the 165-pound Blue Hen Final.
Just a great lesson how you want to dictate the style. You want to dictate the style. The guy that does, he usually is successful.
That'll take us now to 175 pounds, and we'll have another number 1 seed, William Penn Colonial, taking the mat, and that's going to be the 30-6 junior, Jason Hugart. And again, I want to apologize to the family for some other matches in the past. I believe they told us we had been calling him Hugart. Not sure, Benny Mitchell, if that was you or not, but it's Hugart, as we've been told, and he's going to be here battling for a Blue Hen Final here at 175 pounds. A 13-4 major decision over Dawson from St. George's in the semis. And he's going to meet another Middletown Cavalier, Carter Boyd. 35-8 is the junior. He has pinned his way to the final. So going to be a good one here between Hugart from William Penn and Boyd here from Middletown. So for everybody that just has joined us, we began tonight at 132 pounds. We are now at 175 here in your Blue Hen Conference Finals here on Delaware Live Sports. Nick Allison Journey alongside the legend and Hall of Famer Jack Holloway. Nick Halliday to our left doing the camera and production as we are ready for introductions here at 175 pounds. And here comes from Middletown, Carter Boyd onto the mat here. He'll be wearing that green anklet in the white and blue singlet representing the Cavaliers. And now here comes Jason Hugart from William Penn, the number 1 seed here in the conferences. 30-6 on the year. A battle of juniors.
This should be a good one.
Wrestlers have taken the mat. Hugart in the all black and red trim. And here we go. Hugart took second at the Delphi Cashel Invitational, second at the Tiger Takedown. And poke in the eye here early. 1:43 to go in the first as Hugart took one to the face there.
A little difference in style. Both wrestlers trying to stay open. They're not tying up, and when you have that openness like that and they're both reaching and the arms are flailing, sometimes you will get a little scratch to the eye. But nothing intentional, of course, and nothing that just happens.
So Hugart last year a JV state champion. First year actually wrestling a varsity, I believe, here for William Penn. And he's had a heck of a first season doing it as the junior. Again, sometimes it can just be tough to crack some of these lineups, right, when you got some great guys in front of you.
Right, yeah, in the wrong spot at the wrong time. See it happen.
That is right, for sure. As we're set to restart action, 107, first period, 175-pound Blue Hen Final. Hugart, snap down here.
It was sort of a half-hearted shot at a double, and he almost got in trouble, but he's recovered.
Boyd trying to work from that front headlock position. Hugart trying to get back to his feet, left that leg open. Boyd trying to get to it, does, sweeps over.
Nice ankle pick off of that.
And able to get our first takedown of the match for Carter Boyd. He has a 2-0 lead as we approach the 1-minute mark of period number 1. Hugart able to get out of there, and he got the point for the escape, 2-1. Quick shot after the escape for Hugart. As we head out of territory, 55 seconds to go in the first. We'll start center circle. Taking a look at the team score after the big major decision for Norris and the championship last match. At 165, St. George now with just a 4.5-point lead, 234.5 to 230 over the William Penn Colonials. So a big match for Hugart and William Penn here in this one.
A nice shot on a double. Once again, he doesn't follow through. Switches off to a single.
Trying to get around to that leg. Boyd did a good job of sprawling back, extending those legs, but Hugart staying attached to that right leg. Short time, 20 seconds and ticking here in the first period. 2-1 lead for Carter Boyd. A battle here. 10 seconds to go. Boyd looking for an opening. And a stalemate with 2 seconds. So most likely going to head to the second period, 2-1 in favor of Carter Boyd. Flip to Boyd, and Boyd will take bottom here to start the second period.
I always like the choice of taking bottom in the second period. You know, you're fresh, take it then. I see a lot of kids defer and they wait till the third period. If I was going to be on bottom, I'd rather be there in the second period than the third.
That's a good point. There's a reason you have over 300 wins, huh, Coach? 1:48 here, start of the second period. The escape to Boyd took him about 15 seconds. He now has a 2-point lead, 3-1 over Hugart here at 175. Again, Hugart again spending some of this match here in that
Same
front
thing,
head possession,
right
and there it is.
Nice ankle pick. Boyd kind of come up with that tripod stand,
and Hugart again has been caught in a lot of this match with the head down there in that position, snap down position. Boyd has been in control, and now finally able to get that takedown. 5-1. In control here as we approach on the minute mark of period number 2.
Hugart needs a good takedown here. He needs a solid all the way through takedown. Nothing stops. Boyd's been doing a nice job of countering. Nice job of defensive wrestling. Once again, Hugart with the shot. Boyd with the counter.
And another deep shot from Hugart again.
Now,
unable to close the distance a little bit.
If he makes the same mistake and stands up and brings that leg up.
Get that ankle up. We'll have a quick stoppage here once again. Maybe some blood. Or no, maybe just a stoppage. So 23 seconds, short time here in the second period. 5-2, Carter Boyd in front of Jason Hugart. And once again, it's been Hugart taking the shots, but as you mentioned, it's been the defensive approach from Boyd that has led to the lead here. Once again, has Hugart down in that front head position. Short time, and that'll do it for the second period. So a 5-2 lead for Boyd. And now it's going to be Hugart's decision.
You know, a lot of people think that it's a talent to take a shot, which it is, but it's also a talent to get out of that shot if it's not successful. You just can't come up and give up an ankle and boom. You just and that's what's happened twice. We've had 2 defensive takedowns.
And here, Coach, yeah, you don't want to take a bad shot or get in on a bad shot. Unless you're like me sometimes, you do a bad shot on purpose to dump them. That's what I used to do sometimes. 1:50 to go here in the third. 5-2 lead for Boyd, who's on top here. Hugart, if he's able to escape and then get a takedown, now we got a locked hands. So our first locked hands here in the finals tonight. A big point there.
That's big. So now an escape and a takedown, he's in the lead.
So how about that?
That's a big one.
And again, just from where we're sitting, right, Coach, it's kind of been all Carter Boyd in control this entire match. Now you look up at the scoreboard at 5-3. If you're Hugart, you're feeling okay now. Still right in this thing. 1:37 to go. A 2-point match between Boyd and Hugart.
Up to his feet. Here we go.
Here we go. 1.5 to go in this one. A 1-point match in your 175-pound final here at the Blue Hen. Jason Hugart and Carter Boyd.
the whole match now has been Hugart on the offensive, Boyd on the defense, and once again, a shot by Hugart.
Staying aggressive. And will be the takedown that he's finally able to get to give him the victory. Will be Carter Boyd once again with the defense.
I think we may have just had a stall call on that out of bounds there. I'm not sure.
Again, I missed it. Yeah, good eye, Coach. We'll have to wait and see for that one, but that's a good point there. As
Stall
we hit
call
under a
against
minute.
Boyd. Stall call against Boyd, I think.
That's big. If so, 1 minute to go, under a minute to go. Hugart once again caught underneath.
This has been the entire match.
We'll see how long they leave him here.
I think we ought to see a stalemate here soon.
35 seconds and ticking, 5-4.
There we go. There's your stalemate call.
And you see the Middletown coaching staff. They're saying you got to keep working. You don't want to get hit with another stall call. Got to keep moving. Here we go. 30 seconds to go. 5-4. Who will be your 175-pound Blue Hen champ? Hugart, the deep shot from extensive distance. Couldn't get in on the shot, and once again.
Not a good setup. He just kind of diving in there. Carter doing his layout, controlling the head.
10 seconds to go. Short time at 175. And if you're Boyd, you want to hang out right there on the edge of the map, but he's pulled off, and now 3 seconds to go. Going to have to come up with something right off the whistle for Hugart. Oh, going to be really tough here now. Boyd just going to have to play a little more defense. And Carter Boyd is your 2024 175-pound Blue Hen champion with a 1.5-4 victory over William Penn's Jason Hugart. And Coach, you mentioned it. We saw Hugart as the more aggressive wrestler, but Boyd able to get some points with that defensive style there and spent a lot of the match in that front head position.
Well, just a total example of how you need to set your takedown up. You know, you just can't dive in, which is what Hugart was doing.
Yeah.
Very aggressive. I mean, you have to give him credit for his aggressiveness, but I think he'd have been far better off being a little less aggressive and using a little more setups and try to set Boyd up a little bit. Boyd, you know, like I said, Boyd made no offensive moves. Everything was defensive, but you know, Hugart was letting it be possible. There was a stalling call there. So we were down to anything else would have tied that match up. But
And that was close down the stretch. Again, Boyd with that defensive style. I'm sure you heard some of the fans from William Penn wanting that stall call, but a great job by Boyd to keep moving, not get it, and take home the victory at 175 pounds. That'll take us to 190 pounds here at William Penn, where we'll see our second Christiana Viking. It's the senior, Jacinto Romero Perez, 20-6 on the year. The senior from Christiana had a bye in the first round, and then a pin, and then a forfeit in the semifinal. So again, you always wonder how that will affect certain guys if you don't have a match in the semi. So a little bit of a bigger layoff here for Romero Perez, the number 1 seed here at 190 pounds. And he's going to meet the 2 seed, Terrell Lewis from AI. The senior is 23-16. He has pinned his way to the final. And here he is going up against Romero Perez. So AI and Christiana looking for their second Blue Hen Conference championship. We saw what Dolo was able to do earlier in this.
If this young man works out with Dolo all the time, he should be ready.
Oh, I'll tell you, and that's one of the things, right, is who you have in your wrestling room, the guys that you wrestle against each and every day. That's the biggest thing, right? You always see Penn State, you know, wrestle some of these teams. When you see these unranked guys from Penn State come up and beat some of these top-ranked guys for other programs, because they're wrestling the best wrestlers in the country each and every day of practice.
Every day, for sure. A great workout partner is worth his weight in gold, no doubt about it.
Couldn't agree more. That's the name of the game, as we are underway at 190 pounds between Romero Perez and Terrell Lewis. So AI and Christiana, somebody's going to go for the headlock, and somebody's going to get the takedown, and this time it'll be Lewis who comes out with the first 2 of the evening.
Yeah, Perez was the aggressor there, tried the headlock. Nice counter by Lewis.
And, Coach, we're getting into those upper weights, so you're going to see maybe some of that stuff here as we go forward. 30 seconds into the first period, 2-0 lead. Lewis is in the green anklet with the silver singlet with the blue trim and the gold tiger. And, of course, Romero Perez in the Christiana blue and black singlet with the red trim. Almost a minute into the first period. That one takedown, the difference so far. And a special thanks to everyone tuning in this evening here on Delaware Live Sports. Shout out to Benny Mitchell and the crew downstate covering the Henlopen Conference Finals. I know we had a chance, Coach, to talk to Kevin Treslini and a couple other guys that have made their way over immediately from the Independent Conference Finals. They got done a little bit early, so they're coming to check out some more wrestling. 40
like
seconds
a battle
ago.
between St. Mark's and DMA from
That's
what
right, yeah.
Kevin said.
I think five champs for St. Mark's, 4 for DMA unofficially, from what we've been told. 2-0 lead. Lewis remaining in control, trying to finish the period on top. 20 more seconds. Trying to work some. Look, he's trying to get that arm bar in. Unable to do it that time. Short time. Romero Perez trying to get a point before the buzzer sounds. They should give it to him.
It should have been one, I would think. No?
And they're going to talk about it. I'm with you, Coach. I thought it was one, at least with a couple seconds.
Nothing?
They're going to give him nothing. And
Whoa.
Christiana coaching staff, though, not too much of an argument from their side. So, hey, maybe,
I'm not,
it looked like one to me.
I'd have been at the table.
I know. I might still go to the table.
I'm not quite sure why that was not one.
And again, Romero Perez didn't seem too off-put by it either, so maybe either they're unaware or maybe they just didn't see it the same way. And now Romero Perez trying to lock it up here. Lewis is in trouble. Can Christiana crown a second champ? And they can here in the Blue Hen.
Christiana, 2 conference champions.
Jacinto Romero Perez, the senior, coming off a forfeit in the semis. We say maybe it'll take him a little while to get going. It took him a period, and he gets the pin. Was down 2-0 and puts in work on top. And there he is. And so bonus points for Christiana as a bonus. And Christiana Vikings, 2 champions here at the Blue Hen.
That's good to see. That's good to see. School like Christiana coming up with 2 champions. Wow.
And again, trailing 2-0. There was a lot of time
look,
left.
Look at all the bleachers from Christiana.
Yeah, you gotta love. How about that?
They're
you gotta
excited.
love that, right?
Oh,
That's so
yeah.
much fun to see.
Yeah,
And again,
I don't know when the last time Christiana had two conference champions. That's really
and
good.
coaches, you know, and in the sports that you played, football, etc., coaching wrestling, it's tough to find more of a tight-knit sport than those wrestling guys, throughout a season, drilling each and every day. You're always hanging out with each other. And, of course, one of your teammates can get a big win like that. That's great for everybody.
Exactly.
So they're excited.
The whole room feels excited.
That'll take us now to 215 pounds. We'll have our second Concord Red Raider. It'll be Jeremiah Eastburn, the junior who's 22-3 on the year, a first-round bye, and a couple pins. That puts him here in your Blue Hen final at 215. Who's he going to meet? It's going to be Zakir Roberson from Del Castle. I had a chance to talk to the coaching staff before this match. Roberson had some issues. One isn't able to get on the mat at the beginning of the season. But since his return, he's wrestled in just 7 matches. He's undefeated at 7-0. He's a junior from Del Castle, and he has pinned his way all 3 matches to get here to the finals. So not sure what to expect, maybe from some outside point of view if you haven't seen Roberson wrestle yet. But it is going to be a lot of fun to check out this final between Eastburn and Roberson, who have so far in this tournament, Coach, combined for 5 pins to get here.
Wow, I think we know what the outcome might be.
And
one way or the other, who's going to get their pin?
We're seeing a lot of pins, aren't we, so far here in 2024. Introductions underway, and here he comes at 215, your number 1 seed from Concord High School, Jeremiah Eastburn. On the season, 22-3 for the junior. He'll be wearing the red anklet and the maroon and white singlet. And his opponent here at 215 in your Blue Hen final, as we just mentioned, from Del Castle High School, the second Del Castle wrestler to be in the finals here at the Blue Hen in 2024, Zakir Robinson. 7-0 is the junior since making his return to the mat not long ago, a few weeks ago for Roberson. And they told me, again, the coaching staff earlier in the tournament, to keep an eye on this guy. He's somebody you want to watch. And when he's on the mat, he's dangerous. And here we go, 215 Blue Hen final.
Shakir looks to be about 6'2", 6'3".
Our tallest wrestler of the evening.
That we've seen, yeah, he has a reach.
So here we go. We're underway. 10 seconds into 2:15.
Oh,
Robinson
got a
trying to
body
lock
lock.
it up. And there it is. They're pushed out. 140 to go. And, Coach, that's what I was told. That he's got all 7 wins, I believe maybe
Well,
5
you
or
can
6
see
pins.
If he can lock you up like that, those legs, he's got long legs. He steps behind you. That's trouble.
And, of course, we know how dangerous Eastburn is. 22-3 is the junior.
It's
phenomenal
it's
season
not
for him.
It's not a textbook move, but I have seen some long 6'2", 6'3" type wrestlers that can really shock a lot of people. That they get underneath your arms, they lock you up, and then be aware of the big step.
At 215 pounds, Eastburn coming in as the 6th ranked wrestler in the state. Robinson unranked, of course, with the late return to the mat.
He's got that. He's going for that double underhook again. Trying to lock it up.
And Eastburn this time going to roll through with the headlock. He set it up nicely. He's got 2 now looking for back. Can Roberson fight off his back? Jeremiah Eastburn has a pin in a championship at 215 pounds.
Well, we kind of thought it would end that way.
That's right. Good call, Coach.
Just who was going to get it? You know, that's really well done on the part of Eastburn there. It takes discipline to wrestle a long, lanky guy like that. You really, you make a mistake and boom.
And again, coming in undefeated was Roberson, 7-0. And again, maybe the discipline. He hasn't been on the mat that long. That's kind of the issue there. And Eastburn showing off, setting it up, using the push and pull, using his own weight against him, and then able to land that headlock.
Roberson almost got him in the beginning, went out of bounds, of course. But I think he learned a lot from that. So, I better make sure I'm a little more careful here. And you're right, he set that up nice.
And that'll take us to heavyweight, 285 pounds, where we have another match that we've been waiting for. A St. George's versus William Penn final here at heavyweight. The team score 234.5 for St. George's to 230 for William Penn. We talked about how they each had 6 guys remaining after that first match of the finals here at the Blue Hen, and it's going to come down to the wire. We talked to both coaches before the finals. Of course, both expecting that very thing. It's going to be a tight battle.
This is why I believe William Penn is the favorite in this match, and Eli has had quite a year, but I haven't seen the St. George's wrestler yet this year, so I'm not sure.
Eli Jarquin Torres, the junior from William Penn, has wrestled, and this is what you like to see, 47 matches this season. He's 41-6, a bye in the first round, and then 2 pins to earn his way to the finals. And of course, Jaleel Settles, the sophomore, 43-9 in his 52 matches. These guys have been on the mat a lot here this winter. Settles has also pinned his way to the final. So again, as Coach mentioned, going to be a fun one here at heavyweight, and not only for the Blue Hen final, but for the team scores as well as we come down the stretch here at William Penn High School.
Settles is a big boy. He looks like he's every bit of the 285.
Eli for William Penn is ranked number 2 in the state coming into this one, just behind Cale Denegris, the defending state champion from Delaware Military Academy. Jaleel Settles, the sophomore, coming in ranked 6th in the state with the 2 seed here at the
Here's a
conference.
situation where you gotta be careful. You can't come out too excited, try and go for the pin too soon, and get yourself in trouble. Again, I think it needs to be methodical. Get your good takedown, get your good breakdown, get some control, then go for your pin.
And I believe these two might have met at the Del Castle Invitational earlier in the season. So here we go, 285-pound final here at the Blue Hen. We're underway. And fighting here for the heavyweights early on. Again, Eli Torres for William Penn Jr. and Settles for St. George's, a sophomore. Of course, Eli in the all-black with the red anklet, red trim. Settles in the green and black singlet for St. George.
Eli working that Russian 2-on-1.
Love to see a good Russian now. You don't see it as much, I don't think, anymore.
Now you don't. Ooh. just missed a nice snag opportunity there.
Quick look at it, throw by. Almost a minute into period number 1, 0-0, as you might have anticipated here in the heavyweight final. Both guys battling arm fighting here, battling for control here in neutral position.
Torres appears to be the aggressor in the earlier action. Settles doing a nice job countering.
42 seconds to go, period number 1, of course, not finished up when this one is. We're heading to 106. We started the night at 132. Some more matches here to go at the Blue Hen Conference Final. Nick Allison journey alongside the Hall of Famer Jack Holloway. Nick Holloway to our right. We're Matt side here at William Penn High School, the home of the Blue Hen Championships here in Newcastle. Right next door to the Jack Holloway Wrestling Room. And, of course, as we mentioned, this big for the team score as well as both of these individuals.
This is a big match. This is the match of the night.
And might take a period to feel these two out here. 5 seconds short time and ticking in the first. And we'll head to the second, 0-0. Torres going to start on bottom here in the second period, and Settle's not going to waste any time. He's going to bring it right up to neutral, give him the point.
A little surprised by that. I'm not quite sure.
So like you said earlier, if you're going to give somebody that point and let him up, got to be able to take him down in neutral. So we'll see if Settles can do it. Underhook for Torres. And a
Good
stall
call.
in here
Good
against
call.
Settles.
That's like you said. Torres has been the aggressor the whole first period.
We'll see if that adjusts Settles' activeness here after the first stall warning. 139 taking second period action. 1-0 lead for Torres, who was led up to begin the period. Battling Torres, looking for that single.
The stalling warning is huge. It's really an advantage Torres now with that stalling warning. He can just be methodical, try to back Settles up.
And he's going to keep working.
Yeah.
And if he does keep working and Settles continues to do what he's doing, again, he could be on his way, to earning points with those stall calls. A quick whistle here.
Not sure what that was about. What was that?
I don't know. It looks maybe they were talking a little bit to each other, something like that maybe. I'm not sure. Just a quick little talking to from the official.
We haven't really seen an offensive move from Settles yet.
No. He's looked as if maybe he thought about a few throw-bys, but nothing has been attempted really yet. As you mentioned it, Torres has been the aggressor through the first 3 minutes of the match. 50 seconds to go. Torres once again in on that leg. Settles trying to fight out of it. And almost found his way to two. You see, we talked about Torres has been the aggressor and looking as if that's kind of maybe catching up to him a little bit. Looks in like all those shots that he's been taking maybe gotten to him a little bit. But he's still in control.
A lot of backing up going here, I think. I'm going to be surprised if we don't have a stalling call here very shortly.
30 seconds to go, second period. 1-0 lead for Torres. Hand fighting here with 24.
If they're going to open this up, the referees are going to have to make Settles wrestle.
Yeah, Settles going to have to take a shot here soon, that's for sure. And there's the second stall call.
There's the stall call. That's big.
Now trying to lock up the headlock, and he
hit
it.
There it is. He got it.
Settles has the headlock. He's trying to sit through. Torres hit his head hard, but short time will stop it here in the second period. So time beneficial there for Torres. And the first move offensively we see from Settles is a headlock, and Torres was thrown hard on that head. Or at least from what I saw.
He did a great job not going to his back, and I think that's what Coach Arcangelo is arguing now, that he never went to his back and never was in a defensive position.
So here we go. Will we get backs? Will we not? I guess that's the verdict that we're awaiting.
No, I think was it a takedown or not?
Oh.
And the referee said yes.
And now Settle's going to go right back to letting him up. That's going to give Torres the lead. Or, no, excuse me, we're starting the third period, so he chose neutral.
He chose neutral.
Yep. So here we go.
Which this stall call is huge. I mean, this is definitely
true.
Definitely in Torres' favor.
2-2 here at heavyweight with 1:44 to go. What a final. Torres in on that leg.
Ain't going to snag. He's got the snag. He's in a good situation with it inside.
He's bringing it up. In control is Torres. A takedown would be huge with 1:30 to go in the third period. Trying the Granby as Settles and almost had it, but Torres follows him. And now Settles falls on his back as he tries to Granby, and Torres caught him. Torres trying to finish it off here. Would be huge for the team score. And there's a pin for Eli Jarquin Torres, your Blue Hen Conference Championship at heavyweight, but not without a battle. But, Coach, those bonus points with that pin are going to be huge for this team score.
Very, very, very big. Very, very big. That was Torres remained the aggressor. Got in there on a very nice single leg snag. Had to work hard to finish. His Settles is very difficult to a big man. He worked very well, and then as soon as he got the takedown, Settles tried the Granby roll, and Torres did a great job catching him. And big win, big win. Kind of had a feeling it was going to end that way, either one way or the other, as we saw with the headlock earlier.
That's right. And again, short time with that headlock in the second period for Settles, who again had Torres on his back. What a match there at heavyweight. And again, those two might see each other again potentially down the line.
Down in the state tournament. Yeah, that's two big men there, and they know the way around.
That'll take us now to 106, and those coaches are going to stay in those corners. We have another William Penn St. George's battle. It's going to be relatively big for this team score. From St. George's, it's going to be the senior Louis Zitovsky. Only 8-2, has wrestled just 10 matches on the year. Was the number 1 seed coming in. 2 pins puts him in the final. And with that pin from Torres, William Penn has regained the lead, 236 to 234.5. Here as we begin the 106-pound match. And then for William Penn, it's going to be the 2 seed Jaden Ellis. 25-17 on the year, a senior. And we take a look at the 106-pound rankings. Austin Guerreri, the freshman from Cape, leads the way, followed by Bacchus from St. Mark's, Bonato from Red Lion, Decker from Sussex Central, Catania from Salesianum, and then Perrine from DMA. But we've got a number 1 versus number 2 seed here in the Blue Hen going at it for the 106-pound title.
I would have liked to have heard the conversation between Coach Arcangelo and the official there on that headlock. Exactly, I believe Coach Arcangelo was arguing that it was not a takedown, and of course they did not award back points. I think the point was had Torres gone defensive in the headlock, he was kind of belly flat instead of on his back on his side. He could argue it as Coach did. And I think the officials decided that the takedown was there. That was the final ruling, but no back points. It's unusual to see a successful headlock without back points.
Yeah, right. You're right about that. So here we go at 106. 4 matches remaining here at the Blue Hen Final. Here on Delaware Live Sports, Nick Alisadrini alongside Jack Holloway and Nick Halliday. We got Halliday. And we are underway here at 106. Louis Zitovsky from St. George's in the green and black, in the green anklet, and Jaden Ellis from William Penn in the white and red. Again, a 1.5 points separating these two teams with 4 matches to go down the stretch.
Looks like we've lost a couple 100 pounds here.
Zitovsky in on that single leg here to the left side. Over top of the ankle goes Ellis as we're 30 seconds into the first period. Louis Zitovsky trying to step over the leg.
He's in good. Oh,
Ellis did a good job of
nice counter.
Getting that ankle back, not letting him step over. Yeah. And almost a minute in to the first period. Going to let him go at it here for a little while longer. And you said it, Coach Zatoski's got that right leg. Or now trying to switch.
He's coming up with it. Oh, another again. There he's got both legs now. That's
There it is. Able to switch over to that double drive and finish. And 2 points for Louis Zatowski to start here with 41 seconds to go. The first, he has a 2-0 lead over Jaden Ellis in the 106-pound Blue Hen final. We pushed out a play there.
Jeez, I think I may have forgotten what an escape looks like.
And now we're going to see Coach Arcangelo head to the scores table. And that's what we've referenced a little bit earlier as well. We thought there had been a few 1 points. There have been a few discussions, and now they'll talk about it again.
I mean, it appeared to be he was out. There was he had lost control. But the officials saw it differently.
And they put one on the board. St. George's is going and saying, hey, take that 1 point off because they didn't award it. And they're technically right. They never awarded that 1 point.
Yeah.
But, whether or not it was a point is a different discussion. As Ellis trying to switch here. And we've seen a few close ones there with some escapes throughout our finals coverage. 7 seconds short time, 2-0 lead for Louis Zatowski.
It's like a stalemate here.
And we'll head to the second with a 2-0 lead. And if you look at it going the rest of the way, Coach, we've got Appoquinimink and AI and Ramos versus Kubler coming up next. And at 1:20, we have Lloyd for St. George's versus Kelly from Middletown. And then finishing off the night at 26 is Wood from St. George's and Williams from Hodson.
So this is sort of a must-win for William Penn.
In a way, it must be, yeah. As William Penn maintaining a 1.5 point lead. Almost a must-win territory for Ellis if he wants to keep William Penn in that Blue Hen team championship. A hard crossface here, trying to suck back. And now going to try to get that arm bar in, and he has it here. And very aggressive. Here goes Ellis on the top position. And he's got 2 boots in as well, Coach. And great pressure here from Ellis. And if you're Zatowski, this is not where you want to be.
Looking for the power half with the legs. He gives him the 1.
Yeah, gave it up there again. Looked like he had some work that he was getting to put down there with those legs in, but decides to change up the game plan here. So 3-0 lead for Louis Zatowski over Jaden Ellis. 1:13 ticking here, second period action, your 106-pound Blue Hen final. Approaching the 1 minute mark of the second period.
This is a must-win takedown situation right here for Ellis.
Arm fighting. Once again, over to that sweep single for Zatowski. And now he's got it up. See if he can run the pipe. This time he'll bring it up. Looking for the trip.
Oh, right to his back.
And he's got it for 2. A pretty job by Louis Zatowski. And now trying to bring him back in for some back points, and he's going to get some. And they'll go out of play, but not before 3 are awarded. 8-0, Zatowski now in full control, 17 seconds to go, second period. Again, it's been William Penn that has dominated the Blue Hen Conference tournament for the last 4 or 5 years. And another great showing for them here as they come down the wire battling with St. George's for this team title. 8-0, we're heading to the third. Well, going to have to get to work now.
It's good to see several teams come into prominence in the Blue Hen Conference.
Yeah, it really is.
David Williams doing a really good job at St. George's, and Larry Simpson over there at DuPont.
Yeah.
And here we see Cristiano with 2 champions. That's
right.
really, really a good sign for the Blue Hen Conference.
Yeah, we see Middletown here in that third place in the team score. Appo in fourth. I mean, great showings all around from a lot of these schools as we have another takedown for Tatovsky. He leads 10-0, and we saw Appo crown 2 champions as well. Concord with a couple finalists. Again, seeing more and more parity here in the Blue Hen Conference.
That's what you like to see. That's the name of the game. It's so it just makes for spectator interest. It makes for you want to go out and see and support wrestling, but you want to go out and see a good match. And regardless of who wins, 2 evenly matched teams, nothing like it. A dual meet with 2 evenly matched teams. So anyway, that's one of the real positive things I've seen here this weekend is strength in the Blue Hen from some of the historically weaker teams.
Yeah. And Coach, let me ask you a personal preference question, I guess. As a coach, did you like those individual state tournaments better, or did you like those dual meets better? Which did you like to coach more in?
Well, I mean, I'm a huge dual meet
I'm
fan.
with you. I love dual meet. Just the feeling of it, the crowd.
I spent some time with the National Wrestling Coaches Association and across the country. The executive director, Mike Moore, we've spoken about this quite a bit. I mean, tournaments have their place.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to talk a young man into coming out and going to tournaments where he's a rookie. He'll be the number 16 seed. He's got to wrestle the best guy. Then he's got to wrestle another real good guy. And then he's done for the weekend. And he wrestles 2 matches. He sits around and watches.
Yep. Oh, and some extracurriculars here after a big win for Louis Zatovsky. 13-0 as he takes care of business, and they're going to get those guys back in the circle here.
But, you can talk a young man into coming out to help his team out in the dual meet. And it's just, I'm a big fan of wrestling, but a lot of times I don't want to go sit in the gym all weekend long and use my whole weekend up. But
You're right about that.
I love to go watch a 2.5-hour dual meet.
Oh, man, I'll tell you.
Nothing like it.
I will say, my favorite match, so dual meets, individual match, my favorite time as a wrestler was my freshman year at St. Mark's in those dual meet state championships down at Dell State. With those crowds against Caesar Rodney, Smyrna, just nothing better than that.
I feel that same way about all your individual sports. Cross country, swimming, track. I used to love as an athletic director the dual meets.
Yep.
When they were, your lesser kids get a chance to shine versus, we're not going to run any dual meets. We're just going to go to cross country invitationals up in New York or something like that.
Yep.
That doesn't give the average kid a chance to shine versus you take a good dual meet in cross country where the difference is going to be who comes in number 5.
Yeah, that was the most fun.
And I just think all the individual sports have lost a lot by kind of going to strictly a tournament for it. You rarely see a track dual meet anymore.
Yeah,
rarely.
Yeah, and
it's a shame.
It is. Again, dual meets nothing better, at least for me. You had some of those discussions about, we can just, give a team champion from individual states, the way he plays, stuff like that. I've always been against that. Yep, I'm with you there. I'm against that for sure. I know they had to go back and do that during the COVID year a few years ago, back in I believe it was 2020 when they went to that, but I'm with you. It's all about the dual meets for me. That's how the team state champions should be crowned.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind.
Zatovsky with a big win that time for St. George's, and that's going to put, I believe, St. George's back ahead in the team score. 239.5 to 236, and it looks like, or could be, that St. George's could knock off William Penn here in the Blue Hen team score the rest of the way. We're going to head, though, to 113, where we'll see our third Appoquinimink Jaguar, the number 1 seed at 113, Roman Kubler. 28-13 is the senior from Appo. 3 pins for him to make his way to the finals, and he's going to be taking on the junior Xavier Ramos from AI DuPont High School. 28-16, a tech in his first match, followed up by 2 pins. A lot of bonus points created by these 2 guys for their teams this weekend, and now they're going to go at it for the 113-pound Blue Hen Conference Championship. Kubler for Appoquinimink. He'll be wearing the red anklet in the all-black singlet with the silver visualization there. And then for AI, DuPont and Ramos in the blue and the gold, wearing the green anklet. 113 final underway. Quick shot from Kubler off the whistle. Couldn't hit it. Ramos trying to convert, and Kubler able to throw him to the back for the first takedown. Kubler right to that half, but way over. You're going to have to get those hips back. Unable to do it. Ramos trying to come up with some points here on the reversal, and this is just, they're going at it here as they head out. Some early action in the first 19 seconds of this one, Coach.
Yes, there is. Kubler looks like he knows how to throw a person.
So after all of that action in the first 20 seconds, a 2-1 lead for Appos.
Oh.
Or excuse me, for Ramos, for Appos Kubler. Now Ramos retakes the lead here
Kubler
with the
took
takedown.
an out of control double shot. It just totally out of control when Ramos spun behind.
Ramos trying to break down Kubler. Kubler just turns and faces and throws him.
These two guys. It's hard to describe what's happening.
I'm doing my best.
A little unorthodox here, but a lot of fun to watch.
And 2 more for Kubler on a reversal throw there for 2. That puts him back. We're exchanging 2s here. 4-3 now. Kubler in front. Ramos will now take bottom. 1:12 to go here in the first period. Kubler
has legs in. He went up high to get him in.
And again, that's what he did last time. Ramos was able to throw. Kubler has those hips just a little too high with those boots in, but now he's able to suck back, and there's
He got 2.
And I believe no back points there on the initial turn.
I think he's holding them. Oh, no. I thought he was holding them on the mat.
Yeah, I thought he might have been. So Kubler is high, but he's got, again, you could tell, got good hips with those boots in. He knows what he's doing from that position. 37 seconds to go here, period number 1. 4-3 lead for Appos Kubler. Now working that half. Trying to get the turn here. 24 seconds remaining in the first. Ramos doing a good job of fighting off that time. 15 seconds now for Kubler to work with those boots in. Seven seconds. And Kubler going to probably get 2, I would imagine, here at the buzzer. And he will. We've seen some points awarded again right as these guys are working it right towards the end of the clock. And a good job there from Kubler to get some big ones as we head now to the second period.
Ramos has those young, pliable shoulders. Well, he's hard to turn, but, my shoulders hurt just watching that.
Ramos looking to the coaching staff and telling him that he wanted to go neutral. So Kubler will take bottom. We'll see if Ramos decides to let him up or not. He visually looked like he told the coaching staff he wants to go neutral here, but instead looks like he'll start on top. Who's going to end up on top here? It's been a fun.
Strong attempt at a roll there. And he has got the boots in. It's successful.
Once again high, but he's so deep with those legs in, he's going to be able to break down Ramos most likely here. Ramos doing a good job. So there's that reversal for Kubler. Again, we saw Ramos want to go neutral. It ends up being a reversal for Kubler there. And now in control, 8-3. 1:22 to go here in the second period. Now trying to get that turn. Now lip arm there by Ramos. And he finds himself with the reversal, at least for the moment. Turning into him is Kubler, and Ramos able to take him back, and now Ramos on top.
Kubler's constant motion.
You're right about that. Energizer Bunny.
Yes, he is.
After it's all said and done, just an 8-5 lead, though, for Kubler. Ramos still has put 5 points on the board here and is right into this match here. 45 seconds to go in the second period. Kubler coming in ranked 5th in the state from Appo.
Ramos working for the cradle.
And Kubler able to end up on top once again. Kubler.
Came through with a defensive headlock from bottom. Ramos is trying to lock up that cradle, but just didn't quite get the hands locked.
And Ramos, though, not on his back here. He talked about those shoulders. If he's able to pull his head out, he's got 2 more. And they're going to give him 2. Even with Kubler on that leg, and now Ramos with the reversal. And with short time, that'll do it. But Ramos with 2 more before the buzzer, and that's kind of been keeping him in it. It seems like Kubler is in control going for the turn, and then Ramos somehow finds points, and he's right in this match, 10-7. Kubler up by 3 as we begin the third.
Ramos, I think, is going to take neutral. It's his choice, I believe, and down 3. I don't know why. I guess he's not sure about getting out, I guess.
And in the second, once Kubler took bottom, he immediately looked to his corner. He wanted to let him up then, and that might have helped him because he got reversed there.
He obviously feels more confident on his feet.
Yeah, gave up 2 when he did decide.
He's down 5 now. He's down 5.
Oh, so they did update the score there for us. So 12-7 is your score after a discussion here at the scores table. Kubler up by 5 as we head into the third period.
Ramos must feel he has a big takedown here. Probably going to see something up top.
He's got something in mind. He's been begging for neutral. We'll see what he pulls out of the bag. 5-point lead for Kubler over Ramos as we begin the third period here at 1:13.
Here it goes. There it is. Here it comes. Boom.
And there it
Headlock.
is.
That's what he wanted.
Kubler doing a good job, though, of not going to his back. And now if you're Ramos, you got to look at where you are on the mat as well. You got to pull him back in. And I don't think they're going to give him 2 either.
Oh, no, that can't be.
And they're going to go neutral, coach.
Oh, so this is what we were talking about from earlier. They're saying the headlock, that he didn't go to his back. And so they're not awarding the takedown, which is what we were arguing earlier, but they did award it.
That's right. You're absolutely right. So, yeah,
so we're seeing
the same exact thing.
Same thing. 2 different calls, different officials. But
and Ramos not getting 2 that time. He still trails by 5, 1:27 and ticking. Third period action here, your 1:13 Blue Hen final.
I think I personally would have given 2 in both cases.
I'm with you. I would have done the same. Ramos now in on that sweep, single to the right leg, trying to switch to a double. Back to the single leg, brings it up. Kubler, though, knows where he is, and a good job by Kubler with the mat awareness to get out of play there and not give up a takedown. But as we're seeing, Ramos has looked pretty good in neutral here. Kubler, though, in control.
He's looking for that headlock for sure.
He's looking for something. That's right. Could be that. She's tried it a few times and has been close. And he's down by 5. It would take a move like that.
Kubler, of course, doing a good job staying away.
Yes. And there it is again. And the second time Ramos ends up on top of him. And again, if you're now Apo, that coaching staff, and you're Kubler, you know exactly what he's going for.
Kubler's not going to be tying up.
5-point move needed for Ramos. He's down by 5 with 40 seconds. And Kubler with the toss this time. And he ends up on top in a big one that could seal it for the Apo Jaguar here at 1:13. Kubler, he's got a pin and a championship in the Blue Hen at 113 pounds.
Yeah, Ramos tried to force it. He knew he had to get something big. He tried to force it. Kubler, being a good wrestler, just took advantage of it. Boom, right to his back.
Second Apo Jaguar champion of the Blue Hen Conference Tournament, this time at 113 pounds, the senior Roman Kubler. Well, that'll take us now to 120. Coach, we've got 2 matches left, 120 and 126. It's been a great time hanging out with you here, Matt Side, at the Blue Hen Conference Finals.
It's been some exciting wrestling tonight. Like we were talking earlier, though, I mean, I'm surprised at the amount of falls.
That's right. We had a discussion about that off the air for sure. But, and even in terms of the whole season in its entirety, not even just in terms of today.
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss to explain it. I've been looking at it all year long and trying to figure out why sometimes there's so many falls. And sometimes it's disparity of talent. But as I was telling you, even in close matches where, 1 or 2 matches could have swung the outcome, I saw a lot, 11, 12 falls in a match, which when the match is close, 11, 12 falls is, and here we're talking the finals.
Amount.
We're talking the finals, and I don't know that you normally see this many falls in a finals.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And again, you talked about it, just to get 11 falls in a dual meet, it seems incredible. And that's the way wrestling has changed a little bit here in 2024.
And like I said, I've been talking to other people and asking what they think is the reason. I mean, sometimes, like when you see a, 72 to nothing score, it's just the disparity in talent. But I'm saying when you see it in a conference finals, or if you see it in a strong dual meet, how do you explain it? How do you explain that number of falls? I don't know. I don't have the answer.
We don't have an answer yet. So here we go at 120 pounds. Russell Lloyd, the sophomore from St. George's, your #1 seed in the Blue Hen Conference, coming into this one at 36-14, a first-round bye, followed by 2 pins. Has him ready to go. He comes in as the 5th-ranked wrestler in the state of Delaware, and he's going to meet up with Braden Kelly, the freshman from Middletown, 44-6, a first-round bye, followed by 2 pins. This is going to be a fun one, Coach. We've got, of course, the #5 ranked wrestler at 120 against the #6 ranked wrestler at 120.
There we go.
And then, of course, a big one at 26 coming up after this one. But we're underway, 120 Blue Hen Final. Russell Lloyd in the black and green singlet with the green anklet. Braden Kelly in the white and blue Middletown singlet wearing red. And it's going to be Russell Lloyd on the reshot.
Nice counter by Lloyd.
2-0 as St. George's trying to maybe put an exclamation point on the team title.
Kelly took a strong shot, but then a very nice counter back in by Lloyd.
And Lloyd quickly inserting that boot. And now trying to get the other. Going to break him down. He's got him. Now trying to work.
Power half.
Kelly able to get back up to his base. And Lloyd doesn't care how high he has to get. He's going to get those boots in. And good pressure to break Kelly down once again and right back to that half. He turned him but lost the legs and gets a quick 2 count. Under a minute to go, period #1. 4-0 lead for Russell Lloyd. Kelly trying to take those boots out, but too much pressure from over the top here from Russell Lloyd. Cranking that turn. And he talked about the shoulders earlier, seeing it a little bit here as well.
I see Kelly was focusing on the boots, trying to get the boots out, and then by doing that, he gave up the double the half up in there, and he just ends up getting turned. But it's there's 2 schools of thought on that. And I never wanted to focus when the guy puts a boot in and focus on the legs. I wanted to get one of those hands, which are going to kill you if you don't. It's I mean, like I said, it's a
tough situation. But I'm with you. Lloyd able to step up and mat return. Sinking that in. More back points for Russell Lloyd as we tick down period #1. 10 seconds to go. Kelly trying to hop out there at the last second. Holding 3 for Lloyd as we end the first.
Lloyd just feels totally comfortable being extremely high to get those boots in.
Right?
I mean, he is way, way up on the shoulder.
It had me thinking the same way. Then after the first 2 times, I said, oh, he's used to that. That must be natural for him.
It seems like it. Yeah, he feels comfortable up there.
Kelly will defer. He won the flip. And now Lloyd will choose bottom. He has a 7-0 lead here. It's 2 minutes to go as we start the second. Granby. Lloyd trying to get the reversal. He's got the leg and maybe looking for some backs after. Impressive start here in the 120-pound final for Russell Lloyd. And then Kelly able to catch him too high. And now Braden Kelly with a chance here as Lloyd, though, trying to fight off his back. This is a big opportunity here for Braden Kelly. And it looks like Lloyd able to fight off his back. And a big move, though, as he's able to maintain that 11-2 lead. Or now, 11-5 after the back points for Braden Kelly. And now a quick stalemate with 1:05 to go in the second period. So we talked a little bit about Lloyd being a little too high sometimes when he's on top. That time got caught,
Got caught, yep.
but still in control of the match.
A lot of fighting, Kelly.
Yeah. These guys are also very energetic and aggressive out here as well.
He comes up front trying to look for something big. He knows he's down 6 points.
In the front head position, trying to, as Coach mentioned, look for something, wait for an opening, and take it. Trying to set up that cradle, maybe. And Lloyd with that wrist control, good hand fighting. And now Kelly going to have to go to something else here with 30 seconds to go in the second period.
He's looking cradle, that's for sure. Here it is. He's got it locked.
Lloyd trying to hold on to that leg.
Got it locked. This could be 3 more.
It's looking that way here. Now Kelly almost had those shoulders down for a second, and now he's going to, not sure if he unlocked, so.
No, it's still the same
Still
hold.
just holding 3. Yep,
still
holding
the same
3.
Hold.
Short time for Kelly, who's going to get 3 more. He's right back in this match, Coach.
Now it's his choice. It's going to be interesting.
And Lloyd holding that
Lloyd,
right
with
foot.
Lloyd having those legs, will Kelly take bottom? I don't know. I think he's going to take neutral. I'm not sure.
Lloyd was holding that left foot. Not sure if it had to do with something with an injury. Also has tape and a split on that right hand.
He's taking top.
And Kelly going to take top and see what he can do here. Third period, 11-8. We're underway. Granby attempt by Lloyd. Can't get it. Kelly now trying to sink that leg in. He's got the left boot in. Kelly with 2 turns in the second period that got him right back into this match. He'll choose top and trying to go for something similar. Down by 3.
Oh, look at this.
Good pressure here from Braden Kelly.
Kelly is.
Now needs
Here
a
we
mat
go,
return.
right to the back.
And Kelly with a nice job to mat return, but he landed right on his head and able to keep fighting, holding on to that leg. Now looks like Lloyd trying to cut that corner. 115. If Lloyd able to get a takedown here, that might do it. And he's in control. Should be 2, and there it is. And now looking for some backs, at least for the moment, as Kelly doing a good job to fight hard off his back. No backs, but the takedown stands for Lloyd, who leads 13-8. We're under a minute to go here.
Kelly was launching a strong comeback, but Lloyd has a lot of Gumby in him. I mean,
and now Lloyd trying to lock up a cradle, and instead just going to turn Kelly to the back with 30 seconds to go. Trying to put this one on ice. Russell Lloyd and the St. George's Hawks. Your 120 Blue Hen final. Lloyd seeking out the pin. 16 seconds. And an exclamation point for the St. George's Hawks as Russell Lloyd gets the pin over Braden Kelly, and he's your 120-pound Blue Hen final champion. And St. George's all about locks up that team championship here at the 2024 Blue Hen Conferences.
great match.
Heck of a match.
Heck of a comeback. Once again, it ends in a pin. I'm still at a loss for trying to figure it out, because we just saw 2 outstanding wrestlers.
Yes.
No doubt about it. 2 outstanding wrestlers. And Kelly, just a ton of heart. So
Pulled that one out.
I know.
I'm down 7-0 in that match.
But like I said, once again, the match ends in a fall, which I'm going to be searching all spring and summer, trying to figure this out as the what's
you have to hire a research team.
Is it just people getting caught? Is it because of the moves?
Maybe the wrestlers are more aggressive. Are they trying more things now? I don't know. I don't know.
It's just, I mean, like I said, we just saw 2 outstanding young men. out there wrestling. And we just watched an outstanding wrestler get pinned. For right now, I'm giving all the credit to Lloyd, saying, yeah, Lloyd did a spectacular job pinning a very, very, very gutsy wrestler in Kelly.
And that'll take us, Coach, to our final match of the night, 126-pound final from St. George's, the senior, 39-15, Nathaniel Wood. And he will meet the number 2 seed, I believe, from Hodson. 33-9 is the junior, Devin Williams. So a number 1 versus a number 2 seed here at 126 to close out our Blue Hen Conference Finals here at William Penn. And I'll tell you, Dave Williams and Brandon Davis have not had to move much over there in that right corner.
No.
And they'll stay there for the final one. Here comes Nathaniel Wood.
And am I correct in both these wrestlers have pinned their way to the finals?
Yep, Williams does have a tech mixed in there,
Oh,
but
okay.
yep. So, yeah,
Okay.
basically. Bonus points galore for these
So
guys.
this is the one that everybody's waiting to see.
Here we go. So coming out, Devin Williams. And I believe, actually, excuse me, it'd be Howard Wildcats. So Devin Williams trying to become Howard's sole champion of the Blue Hen here in 2024. The junior is 33-9. Nathaniel Wood trying to, again, close out what has been a phenomenal weekend for the St. George's Hawks. And here we go, final match at 126 near Blue Hen Final. So going to be a fun one to close things out. A very fun weekend here at William Penn. Again, a special shout out to Joe Arcangelo and the crew here at William Penn for allowing us to be mat side and getting us set up ready to go. They've been fantastic, and we're thrilled to be here. Nick Allison-Dritti alongside the Delaware legend Hall of Famer Jack Holloway as we sit just about 100 feet from the Jack Holloway wrestling room, and Nick Halliday to our right. And, Coach, it's been a fun evening to be able to call some of these matches with you, and hope you're having as much fun as I am.
Oh, this has been exciting. And we are mat side, too.
Yes, we are. We almost been hit a couple times.
I thought they were coming on top of us.
And an early takedown for Devin Williams. Now he has a 2-0 lead over Nathaniel Wood a minute into the first period, and quickly going to work. He's got that armbar synced in, and now going to get up and work towards the front of that head, trying to step over and hook that head with his left leg.
I think he's going to get it.
Wood doing a good job of battling hard to stay on the stomach.
Got that armbar reinforced, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does.
Yep, he did. He does.
And he's trying to run it. 38 seconds and ticking in the opening period.
He could stack him with that thing right here. But
haven't seen anything like that, huh, so far.
Oh, there. Armbar half right here.
And can he get the turn? He's got at least, maybe we'll see. I think they're going to give him a 2 call.
2.
So 4-0 as Wood able to escape, but now 4-1. Still 20 seconds to work with for these two guys here in the first period.
That armbar half, we used to call it out a big cookie here at William Penn.
Yep, that's it. Yep, us too.
Yeah, if you scored a pin with that move, my wife had to fire up the oven at home, and I had to bring in a big chocolate chip cookie the next day. But that slipped out. He got 2 with it, but he couldn't get the pin. It slipped out. That didn't count. He got nothing for that. Didn't even get a chocolate chip if it slipped out. How to get the pin.
Time expiring here in the first period. So it was a takedown and 2 backs for Devin Williams. Wood did get out, so 4-1. Wood will win the toss. He'll defer to the third period. And Devin Williams confident in what he can do on his feet. He's going to start second in neutral.
We had talked about that earlier. We haven't seen a lot of arm bars here this evening.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that all before the air, before we went on the air. And now Wood trying to lock something up here. And there's 2, though, now for Nathaniel Wood, who has his first takedown. And now 4-3. Williams with a 1-point lead as his headgear falls off his head. Take your time, do it right. Flashbacks for me, Coach. That's my old coach, Dave Williams, out there for St. George's, sending me back to my time as wrestler, hearing him call out some stuff over there.
It is
from
fun
the
here
corner.
tonight. I mean, it's fun for me too. I watched some of my wrestlers, Joe Bond from Middletown.
That's right.
In the corner, and seeing guys I used to watch, Larry Simpson compete, and Joe Arcanzo, watching.
Nathaniel Wood with a turn here, now going to settle in. Wood looking for the pin here to close out the Blue Hen Finals. Has it locked up. 50 seconds to go in the second period. Wood will take the lead with these points, but was looking for the win. And a good job by Williams to fight off his back that time.
Very
as
good.
Wood takes the lead 6-4 though.
I was just saying, gives himself a chance. Instead of the match ending there in a pin, he fights and fights and fights off. And now he's got another opportunity.
A quick stoppage here for Williams to put that headgear back on. 6-4 after the takedown and 3 backs for Nathaniel Wood, who trailed 4-1 and now on a 5-0 run. .30 seconds to go here, and Wood once again finds himself on top of Williams, who's in trouble right in the middle of the circle, and that'll close out a weekend here in William Penn. Nathaniel Wood with the stick in the second period, and he's your 126-pound Blue Hen Conference champion, and that caps off a heck of a finals round here from Newcastle.
Absolutely. This has been an exciting night. I really enjoyed this, Nick. It's great being here with you and sharing this. Like I said, I think the thing I'm taking away from this is it seems like the Blue Hen Conference as a whole, has come back instead of just one team dominating, and we've seen champions from several different schools, and it's been some real exciting wrestling, no doubt about it.
And what a weekend again. A congratulations to the St. George's Hawks. They're your Blue Hen Conference team champions. Dave Williams, Brandon Davis, and the crew, and what a job they were doing today. They crown a fair amount of champs. It all closed out here with Nathaniel Wood at 126, but a heck of a job from St. George's. It was them and William Penn all weekend and came down to the finals with both teams putting a fair share of guys in those matches.
St. George's had a great finals.
Yeah.
I mean, a great finals. I think they they had 6. I think they won 5 of the 6.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
good.
Settles and Heavyweight might have been one of the other ones.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is they missed out on. But they just a great job. Great job, well deserved. They wrestled really, really well in the finals. And I'm still excited for Christiana with their 2 champions. I think that's just
an impressive way. What ways for them to win those matches?
Appoquinimink. I mean, like I said, you had several schools. Appoquinimink had a couple of good champions in there, and just a very interesting night and a good night for the Blue Hen Conference. I hope that's a sign of things to come, that we'll see stronger teams across the conference, and we'll see more parity, and we'll be able to go out and enjoy a lot more good dual meets, and instead of seeing so many on one-sided matches.
That's
so
right.
I'm excited about that. I've enjoyed the night here. William Penn did a great job hosting.
Absolutely, phenomenal job.
This is just a great facility, and new now. I mean, what they've done here to renovate this facility is fantastic. And they have a big. There's several around the state. Brandywine just passed a successful referendum. I think Ray Clay has one coming up next week, I think, and Colonial also. So get out there and support the school districts and support it, and we'll see more of these wonderful facilities, and it's something to look forward to.
Absolutely. Wrestling on the rise again here. It's been a fun weekend. Coach, I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining. It was an honor to be able to call these matches with you.
Nick, for a St. Mark's guy, you didn't do too bad, I got to tell you.
I appreciate it. It was, again, the legend, Jack Holloway, joining us for Nick Halliday and myself. It's been a fun conference finals here at the Blue Hen. Again, it all comes down to next weekend at Cape Henlopen, the state tournament. Again, here for the state of Delaware. We will see you down there at Cape for all of us here for Delaware Live Sports. Again, St. George's, your team champs, a fun finals here from William Penn High School. We will see you next week.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader. Because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news,